Let's go to Jay Carney. This is on, CNN today, this morning. Chris Cuomo is talking to him. Said, look, the numbers about early returns, who's signing up, they're terrible, Jay. I mean, 6 people. I mean, it's just how it is. They're very low. The real question is how you're going to handle not getting to critical mass, which is the key to making this affordable. The Affordable Care Act. That affordable piece is this pool of coverage. What do you do if you don't get the numbers that you need?
First of all, we are going to get the numbers that we need. We have to look at Massachusetts, which under Governor Romney introduced a health care reform plan very similar to what the president has introduced here. And in their first month of enrollment, only 123 people enrolled for premium paying plans in Massachusetts. In the end, they had massive enrollment towards the end of the enrollment period. So, we always expected enrollment figures to be low. We were saying that before October 1st.
Right. You expected 6 people, Jay? And then you cite Romney? Why don't you tell us about how he ran health care while putting his dog on the roof of his car? Why he didn't care some guy's wife got cancer, Jay? You dare go back and cite Romney? By the way, Romney Care in Massachusetts is a disaster, too. They blamed the website crash on high volume. Do you remember this, folks? The website crashes the first day. So there's so many people trying to get through. They sign up 6 people. Now, they had 4.7 million unique visits. That's 6 people sign up, and they're blaming high traffic for this. The point is, these are not the sound bites I thought we had. Carney is out there saying, well, it only affects 15% of people. It only affects a few people. 15% of the people. We're talking millions of real people. This is the thing that really frosts me. These people on the left, these Democrats, people like Obama and Harry Reid and Pelosi, for some silly reason, they get all the credit for having the big hearts. And they get all the credit for having all the compassion. And they care about the little guy. The little guy is getting shafted and getting screwed by these people for 50 years. The little guy takes the brunt of every one of their policies. And now the little guy was lied to. The little guy and his family were lied to about being able to keep their plan. And this is important to people. I hate that it's become this, by the way, but health care is oftentimes the most important thing to people, the thing they fear losing the most. Some people fear losing their health care more than they fear losing their house. I wish that weren't the case. That's also part of Democrat propaganda. There's no reason to live in abject fear that you don't have health insurance. There's no reason for that. But people do. That's been constructed. So it matters. So Obama comes along and lies, and you don't get to keep your plan. And what you're forced into costs 3 times as much. And the regime says, well, it's only affecting 15% of the people. This is the point. Those are real people. Real human beings. We're told the Democrats are the ones that really care about them. These conservatives like Limbaugh, they don't care about people. They only care about getting rich. They only care about exploiting people. They only care about hurting Obama. We have the compassion. We care about people. And it's the exact opposite. I'm telling you, bottom of my heart, we conservatives love everybody, and we want the best for everybody. We just happen to believe that everybody will do much better for themselves if they invest in themselves rather than letting somebody else do it. Because we know that nobody's going to care about you as much as you do. It's not possible that Barack Obama cares as much about you as you do. It isn't possible. I don't care what you think. That Kathleen Sebelius or Harry Reid or Nancy Pelosi care anywhere near about you as you do. You're just there to be exploited and used as far as they're concerned. So here now, millions of Americans don't have health insurance now. They either can't sign up or they can't afford it. And the White House reacts, well, it's a small percentage, and it's real people. And it isn't a small percentage. It is not a small percentage. But the point is, it's real people. It's not statistics. It's not a percentage. They don't care, folks. this is all minutia to them. All that matters to them is that they ultimately gain total control over the healthcare system, because that gives them total control over the way you live, because the way you live has cost components when you get sick. And when they're in charge of whether or not you get treated, that means they can determine how you must live in order to qualify for being treated later on. They can dictate to you what you will and will not eat, and where and you will not go, and how you will or will not get there. And hold that threat of not giving you health care over your head all the time. That's who these people are. That's who Barack Obama is, lying in a most just extreme way to get this silly disaster of a law signed into law. Telling you the biggest lie he could concoct. Now, here's one little piece of logic I'm going to leave you with before we go to the break. If keeping your plan was so important, and it was to people, right? If keeping your doctor was so important, why did we have to go change all of this anyway? If people like their plans and like their doctors, then why did we have to totally turn everything upside down? Couldn't we conclude that it may not have been broken? If the number one selling point to reform was you get to keep what you've got, that translates to people being satisfied with what they've got, to me. So what did Obama? He had to lie to people because most people were satisfied with what they had. So he had to tell them that they could keep it and that it was going to get cheaper because they didn't want massive reform. But he didn't care. He was going to get it anyway. So you had something that you liked, your doctor, your plan, and he had to tell you he was going to make it cheaper. And it turns out now you can't even keep it. You can't keep your plan. You can't keep your doctor. The plan doesn't exist anymore. Your doctor may opt out. And if you are able to stay in the system, it's going to cost you 3 times what you were paying. And all of that is a reality born of lies told by the President of the United States.